Hey, welcome to Stack Manager. So recently we have done many improvements to Stack Manager. So let's have a look. One of the things we've done is that the jobs don't run sequentially anymore so much, but also in parallel. That makes execution faster. But yeah, let's start with a few things. So you can save your stack. You can load your stack from localhost. You can also load and save to object storage bucket and file. And okay, so I have a stack here, but let's delete that first or undeploy that first. So I will do the undeploy to this stack before we continue. So destroying starts by undeploying the deployment from the gateway and also at the same time running through the stacks destroys to remove all deployments we have. So I'm gonna put on pause for a second, and once we're ready, I'll continue. The gateway was updated or deployment deleted, and also the first deployment um, stack deployment was destroyed, and now it's running through the destroy of the first stack. That should complete pretty fast. Meanwhile, it's doing. I'm gonna remove also the settings we have. So I'm gonna remove everything, the port and the volume. And one of the things is that if you try to run again while it's running a job, let's say full deploy, it will tell you that you need to wait until the job finishes. Um, the gateway routes configuration is pretty much the same as usually, so we only have one backend in port 80 running, no multiple backends. Okay, so the deployment was deleted and we're pretty much in starting state. I also deleted this deployment as sorry, containers from the deployment, so we don't have anything. Okay. Um, yeah, so let's start by the usual. So let me actually rename this tag from HTTP bin to Nginx. Um, you can keep the same gateway since it's now empty. So I'll add one container, which is the Nginx, nothing else. And let's take it from there. So Nginx, but for that we need a port. So I'm going to add the 80 HTTP name and add that port to the container. So, okay, so let's deploy this stack. I'll put on a pause again, and then let's resume once we have it. Um, I'll show the meaning for the ports. Basically, if the container doesn't publish any ports, they don't have much use. But it's for like for safety. So if I add another container, let's say Nginx 2, um, and use the same port, you'll get some red here indicating that there's some overlap. So that's really the purpose also. So, but let's delete this one. Okay, I'm pausing again. So the container deployment was successful and we got the private IP and status OK, and it's still updating the gateway for the new deployment. So that should become available pretty soon. And then we can continue. with the Nginx. So let's click here and we'll get the default Nginx starting page without any content. But let's add some content. So I'll create a volume for the Nginx data web content. So this is the path, and I'll give it the name Nginx data, and let's add that volume to the container. Okay, but this is well, it still doesn't do anything. So we need to have a sidecar container that pulls the content from object storage to that volume. So let's add the volume and then some configuration again. So I'm gonna put the bucket name I have in object storage with the web content, and then the reload time every 30 seconds. That's okay, and then add some the data path, the shared volume path for the sidecar that is matches the Nginx web route. Okay, save it, and let's do another full deploy, and then let's see what happens, but I'll put on pause again while it's running. Okay, so the deployment was successful and we got on a new active deployment. Sorry, here actually, and now it's updating the gateway and then marks this as active once the gateway deployment is successful. I can expand from here to see what we have. So we have two containers, Nginx and the sidecar, and these are the configurations here. Okay. So the update is running for a bit and then we can test. So now if I click from here and reload, yeah, we got the page, the content from the object storage bucket to our web server Nginx. Okay, that went smooth. Then let's add some logging. So for the logging, I will add a new volume, logs, and the log path is var log, I think. Let me check. Yeah, var log Nginx. So this is the default Nginx log path, and I'll modify the container to have also that volume. And then let's add the sidecar to pull the logs to OCI Logging. So I'll take the logs volume here, and then let's add some configuration, which is the logging. Yeah, this is the log. Log OCID. Wait. Log OCID here. And then log header is, we can put Nginx. And then the log was var log Nginx access log, I think. Yes. We can check that. So the matches var log Nginx access log matches this. Matches this var log Nginx. Yeah. Okay. Good. So we're all set. And let's do another deployment. And now it's reusing the first stack. But this is improved so that we don't actually wait for the destruction of the existing stack. it happens behind the scenes. Um, so you will end up only having two deployments still. So now it's a bit faster to get the results. Putting on pause again. So the deployment was successful again with the added sidecar for the logs, and then the gateway is updating, and then we can also test again with the logs. So we can check the containers. We have two active. We have the stacks. We should have two active stacks here. And yeah, it's still updating the gateway. Now it's good. So let's go from here. Let's reload a few times the new instance. And then let's go to our logs. So yeah, looks good. This is the log. Yeah, so all good here. Okay, thank you for watching.